everyone. I'm Peggy Rometo, and this is the Weekly Wake Up. Okay, so slowing down, bringing all your attention into the heart, closing your eyes, let it go, that cleansing breath. So you can just become present and allow information to come in. And we do that with our breath and with our focus. So bringing that attention into the heart, exhaling, letting go, imagining that white light, take it all the way down through your body, out the bottom of the feet, into the center of the earth, creating a beautiful sacred space, and then inhale your breath all the way up to the top of your head, hold it for a count of 3, and then exhale all the way back down the body. Okay, we're going to do that 3 times, and then we're going to open to the message. And then your job is to follow along and notice how it feels, and notice if there's information that comes in for you. Notice what I say, if it feels true to you, if it feels off to you, right? These are all ways in which you get to play and practice with your intuition, to fine tune it, to pay attention, to have greater understanding with it, and therefore control, so that you can become more intuitive in your life and really have a better sense of how to navigate things, especially in today's world, right? And being grounded is key. When we're grounded, it just means we're neutral. We're not attached. We're not anticipating anything. We're not afraid of anything. We're not living in the past. We're not living in the future. We're just present. And when we're present, we're like at command central. Everything can then come into us, and we can receive information and be guided in the moment. All right, so that's the whole intention of the weekly wake up, is to get us to wake up and to be present. And when we're present, we can make the best decisions for ourselves, for our life, and we can really read between the lines without having to think about it, because you're not going to your brain. You're receiving that higher spiritual connection, that soul consciousness, that divine connection that we all have and we all share. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the practice. Close your eyes. If it helps you to focus, relax. Pull all parts of yourself into the heart. Just bring your attention there. And then let's go ahead and take that first long breath. Exhaling, dropping down into the center of the earth, imagining that white light, and then inhaling that white light up. Hold it for a count of 3, and then exhale, letting it roll down the body, relaxing even deeper and further, back down to that center of the earth. And then inhale that white light again. Hold it for a count of 3. And then exhale, letting go, surrendering, allowing, relaxing, sinking further into the space of peace. And then one last time, inhale up again. Hold it for a count of 3. And then exhale. Okay, so what's coming up right away is opportunity to be still and to allow things to come into your field, to allow new things to come into you, opportunities for you to have more fun, to be more self-aware, to try things you haven't tried before, whether it's a new partnership, whether it's a stance in your career. You're being asked to recognize behaviors that no longer suit you. You're being asked to recognize different feelings, not to run from them, but to kind of notice the edges, notice how it feels. Can you guys feel like the tension as I talk about this? There's like it's a lot of tension. Notice your back. Can you feel that tension in the back, or just the energy as being tense? So just exhale. Sometimes when we do this work, and there's a lot of reason for a lot of people to be tense right now, right? There's just a lot happening, especially here in the US. We have fires out west, right? There's just a lot of fires. There's storms in the south. There's been a lot of rain. There's been, for some people, there's been a lot of drought. So there's just a lot in the air. So it takes sometimes a little bit more breathing or relaxing into to let that energy dissipate inside of your own energy field, right? Relaxing even further so you can become more comfortable, feeling safer, feeling more buoyant, so you can receive information. So let's see what's in store for us this week, okay? So you're being asked to surrender to old ways of being without giving up. So what does that mean? It means letting go, not having the answer, but allowing information to come in and to notice if it's true for us, to notice if it feels right for us. So when we already have our mind made up about anything, whether it's to go to school, stay home, whether it's to send your kids to school, stay home, whether it's to participate in social media or stay out of it, whether it's to enter a conversation or keep your mouth shut, right? Whatever it is, whatever game you're playing, bouncing back and forth, does this resonate with me? Does it not? When you let go of your own mindset, when you let go of what you have already decided, when we make a decision or a knowing, right? When we do that, it locks us into a trajectory. So what we're being asked to do is to let go of that trajectory, whether we know it's right or not, or whether we know it's true or not. When we keep surrendering and we keep letting go, what happens is more energy can come in, more information can come in, and it can support us either to stay in that same place, like, oh yeah, I am right, or yeah, that is right, right? Or it can inform us, oh, things have changed, the landscape has changed, now we need to move from here to here, right? So you're being asked just to surrender what you thought you already knew, surrender what you thought you already had figured out. Because when you can surrender, there's more information the universe is wanting to gift you. There's more information that's ready to come in. But when we're locked down or locked in tight with our beliefs or our projection, nothing else can come in. So we're being asked to widen, let go, and allow for new information in, new understanding. Now, that could mean anything. It could mean about the political scheme. It could mean about nothing. It could mean just about you, about you. It could mean a different shift in perspective of how you approach things or how you are wired or how you've been occurring in the world. And when you stop and let go and go, wow, I'm going to notice that behavior. I'm going to let go of that behavior and see if it still serves me, right? Because a lot of us are just on automatic pilot when it comes to dealing with our partners or dealing with something at work or dealing with our kids or with our parents. There's like this automatic way of being that's happening. And what you're being asked to do is just this week is stop and observe those patterns, let go of them, and see if they're outdated. Maybe they're not needed anymore. Maybe what was true 3 months ago is no longer true now. What was maybe true 3 years ago or 30 years ago is no longer true now, right? But when you let go of things, it's giving us an opportunity to re-choose, revisit, and be reinformed. So there's information that is wanting to come in because you're ready. You're ready for it. You can handle it. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It can be deep downloads from the cosmos. It can be great insights. It can be a deeper awareness or understanding about ourselves or our life or our family or our kids, right? Or our work, or it can be a new creative thing that the world needs. But you're locked into this old story or conversation, and by letting go, now it can come in, right? So just you're being asked to walk through this week with a whole not knowing, with a whole surrendering, with a whole letting go, and allowing yourself to be guided, allowing yourself to show me, right? So really we're being asked to be receivers this week, to receive divine inspiration, to be able to receive opportunity for us to gain insight about ourselves or about situations or about the world, right? And the only way we can do that is by surrendering the I already know, the surrendering, I think I know, the surrendering of the arrogance, the surrendering of I got it all figured out. So even if we just table that, right? So sometimes we're on automatic pilot. So information comes in, we're like, check, yeah, I know that. What you're being asked to do this week is uncheck it and go, oh, well, what if I didn't know? Well, what if I didn't know how to respond? Well, I know this is what I would say in the past, but is that still true? Should I still respond that way? So we're being asked this week to stop being on automatic pilot, to slow down, and to notice what feels right in the moment, to notice if what feels good to us in the moment, because we're being asked to create from a whole new space, a place of play, a place of creation, and a place of expansion. That feels much better. Can you feel that energy coming in? It's around the lower body, and your legs may feel like it's like a circular energy going out, right? Like it's just going out. Like we're creating a portal of energy, of expansion and connectedness that allows freedom of movement, that allows freedom of creation, that allows for us to play and a place for us to participate, to be seen and heard, and to matter and to value, right? To be valued and to value others. So we're letting go of the mind construct and of the physical world construct so we can receive something that the divine creator wants us to know for ourselves. And it could be something very intimate, something very personal and important that you need to know and self-discover about yourself this week. That slowing down and taking time and stopping and stop answering the way you always answer, or stop behaving the way you always behave, and just pause for a minute is going to give you some new insight. Okay, I hope you guys can feel that energy. It really feels, it feels peaceful, and it for lack of a better word, feels like a pregnant pause, right? It's loaded with something. There's like a birth here that's wanting to happen. So it's really good. It's really big, and it's very personal, right? It's very personal for each and every one of us. So you're just being asked to kind of surrender and let go. And you don't need to know what it is. This is the thing about really when you're being divinely led, you really let go of the knowing, and you really allow it to come in. And then when it comes in and you see it, that's when the knowing goes, oh yeah, I recognize this. Oh yeah, that sounds true to me. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So that's it's the listening, right? So we're being asked to really listen and allow for the information to come in and nurture us and feed us. All right, so let's see what else is in store for us this week. It's interesting. Patience by participation. Okay, let me know what that means. So what does that mean? Patience by participation. So when we're patient and we're participating with somebody else, so we're in union, communion, conversation, and we're patient and we allow them, or we give them the grace to listen. We're listening, right? And we're allowing them and we're present to them. It allows for an opening to happen. It allows for an escalation and a debriefing all at the same time to happen, so this awareness can happen, so they can be heard, so they feel heard. And we feel then, because they're heard, we feel validated, right? So in hearing them, it also validates us. So it's this beautiful reflection back and forth. And so what we're being asked to do is to create this in the world today of not rushing to get our point across, but being willing to stop and listen to somebody else. And by listening, we are creating an energetic field where people who are starving to be heard will be heard. So we can help to stop this craziness by listening, not injecting, but listening. And when we just listen and we hold their pain, or we hold their sorrow, or we hold their celebration, we hold their joy, whatever it is that they are trying to communicate, when we're witnessing it, when we're observing it, what happens is we both become seen. They recognize us as a reflection of themselves, and are feeling heard. And we are then being valued and seen because they are recognizing us as the one who witnessed them. So it's this beautiful exchange of energy. And what it does is it creates this beautiful reciprocation, and then this opportunity for then us to be heard. This opportunity for us to sit in that space of someone wanting to witness us and our experience of life and our desire of what we want to share. And it's not about right, wrong, justifying, black, white. It's not about taking sides. It's not about any of that. It's about honoring where somebody's at. It's about allowing somebody their truth. It's about listening to where they're at. And it's not about a right wrong conversation or about trying to, here, watch this video so you'll understand where I'm coming from. It's not, it's none of that. It's completely of just like, holding the space. Can you guys feel the space of that? Can you feel how open it is? And it's just so expansive. And can you feel your heart, how it's just opening? It's just a space of love, guys. And if you put your arms like I'm doing, you can actually feel the energy swirling. Can you feel that energy in your arms? And then if you widen it, can you feel it get bigger? And if you open and project it from your heart, send it out. Send it out to somebody you love, someone you're concerned about. Send it out to the west where the fires are, with blessings for them to be calmed, for the families who are hurt and afraid. This is an opportunity as well to bless and release, to send love with no expectation, to send and use that energy of honoring and listening to the families who've been hurt and burdened by all these different movements that are out there. Whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's defund the police, whether it's the police themselves, whether it's the people who've been hurt, all across the board, everybody, all the people who are in pain, who have suffered, all sides, every which way, right? This is not about sides. This is about creating human connection. And this whole week is about us allowing ourselves to fill that void by doing nothing but bringing our presence to it, by being the communicator, by being the listener, by honoring somebody where they're at. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have all done that before, where you've just listened to somebody and you've done nothing but just really listen. And what happens? They get it out and they're able to move on. They're able to heal. They're able to come up with new ideas and new creative ways, right? And what have we done? Nothing but hold space for them and listen and hold them, so then they can think and move through that suffering, so they can be elevated above it. So that's the what happens after we hold that space. But we're not doing it to get there, because that becomes manipulation, that becomes an order to, that becomes all these other things, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about us just feeling the field, the energy of love, and allowing that love in and being the projection of that love. And all we're being asked to do this week is to respect, right? For some of us, we call it respect. You give it respect when you stop and you listen to somebody else. And even that respect takes it down to another agenda of the ego, right? So really, it's even just allowing yourself to hear somebody and to be with their pain and not to feel uncomfortable in their pain. And it's that pain, that shared suffering, that allows us to communicate and allows us to heal. So don't be afraid to hold somebody who's in pain. Don't be afraid of recognizing it. Don't be afraid of feeling. Let the feelings in and let them out. Let them in and let them out, right? You're not being asked to carry somebody's pain. You're not being asked to take it on. You're not being asked to challenge anybody. What you're being asked is just to meet people where they are and to let them feel your presence so they're not alone. And that could be an elderly person next door. It could be somebody in the car who's crying in a parking lot, and you just send them love or send them a blessing, right? Wow. You feel all that grief? So don't take it on. Don't take the grief on. Recognize it. Don't get stuck in it. Honor it. We need the pain. We need the grief because it creates us to change. It awakens the things inside of us that make us stronger, that make us more compassionate, that awaken that grit inside of us that allows us to love and that gives us the opportunity to be even more deeply in love. So welcome whatever comes in your energy field this week. Welcome the pain, welcoming the suffering of others, but don't carry it. Don't hang on to it like it's, yours. Let it be, right? Just let it be. love it and honor it. So it has its place, so it can be heard, so it can then heal. And then in that healing, that creation of what's next can happen. So really, guys, this week is all about us slowing down, receiving divine inspiration, listening to people around us, and being patient in that partnership, right? Not projecting, not needing to do anything. And through that process, you're going to create miracles. These miracles is what I'm just seeing. Opportunities for things to change that you never imagined changing before. And all these people doing these little things, if all of us take these little actions, create shockwaves out, right? And we're training other people to do the same thing, right? Because consciousness is contagious. You can see that consciousness is contagious. You see all the fear in the media and people are terrified, right? So let's create a new consciousness of compassion, of listening, of being earnest, of wanting to hear with no agenda, but just being present. And all that is, guys, is love. So I hope you feel that love. I hope you take it in. I hope you enjoy yourself this week. I just I just feel it like opening even bigger. Like the weekend comes and I just see it so open. And then I just see a lot of joy, a lot of harmony, and a lot of excitement for you and people around you as you practice this. You're going to really feel the vibrancy come in and the buoyancy of it. And it's going to lift you up and elevate you. And you'll have a lot more to celebrate. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening and watching the Weekly Wake Up. If it resonates with you, please comment below, share it with your friends. I appreciate and love you guys, and stay safe. And I'll see you again next week.